everyone, and welcome to another episode of PLAYS ANYVERSE. Today we're on episode 11, 10. I don't know. I've been recording so many collabs for different episodes. At this point, I don't know, but I want to show you guys what I've been working on because I wish this were a different episode and this were different. But I got sick at the end of this week, and then just like my avenues of how to record this just didn't work out, so maybe in the future I'll do it, but either way, this at least gives me more time to spruce up the area around this building. So this week, for those of you who do not know yet, this week we are doing our challenge in the ANYVERSE, or our goal was to record an Alfred Hitchcock inspired episode. Whether we made a build for Alfred Hitchcock, we filmed our episode like Alfred Hitchcock would, or whatever it may be. This Monday, we were to release a Alfred Hitchcock inspired episode. And now my plan was to film an episode like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. However, I just didn't have the time. I tried. I couldn't figure out an idea, and then I couldn't figure out how to film it. But I want to walk you guys through sort of like a behind the scenes almost video, minus the rest of the behind the scenes, because I've already built the building sort of. So there is this movie, I think it's called either The Photographer or like 39 Stories or something. I can't remember what it's called. But the point of the video or the movie is that there is this dude who is a photographer who breaks his leg. So he is confined to his apartment for, until his leg is okay. And he has a wife or girlfriend or friend, I don't know, I haven't watched the movie really, and a nurse with him. And they take care of him. And he basically sits in his wheelchair and looks outside his window the majority of his day, photography. And so he sees literal snapshots of people's lives in the apartment complex across from him and the other buildings across from him, because this is the site he sees. He sees these sorts of things, and with his camera, he can zoom in and he can see the snapshots of life through the windows of the apartment complex on the other side of him. So he could see what's happening in all of these things. And he notices, well, I'll let you see what the movie is. But he notices something happening, something tragic happen in one of these apartments across from him, and he makes it his priority to find out and bring to justice the wrongdoer and bring justice to the victims. So I am trying to emulate that by building an apartment complex and having my spot here as the camera or the voyeur spot, where I get to just go side to side and I see this. So what I've built is a set. And this is a track, a camera track, essentially. So I'm not going to move anywhere aside from this little track. I might move all the way down here, and I might move all the way down here just to get more angles on the same thing. But really, my spot is smack dab somewhere here in the middle, Pretty much right here in the middle is where the camera's going to sit for the majority of the time. And I'll hit my F8, my F1. We'll have the slow zoom in where I just am on this screen, and then I'll in post zoom in, and then that'll be our final zoom in thing where I press my GDC key. And then from there, we'll track the person inside, and we'll watch them go from room to room doing their everyday life. And as you can see, I've decorated it a little bit back there to get more flavor of life. But as you can see, as we move here, let me hit shift so I can move slower. We see how slowly and how cool this shot can look, right? As we just allow for all of that to happen. And we get to see different snapshots of life through all of these different windows. And at any point, I could take off this GDC key, and then in post, I could zoom in on these different views. Let's just really sleep real quick here. And as you can see, the camera track, for those of you who don't know, a camera track is kind of what it sounds like. It is just where you place, essentially a railing. You can think of it like that. A railing in which the camera goes along the way. It's a predetermined area for the camera, like the whole thing to go. Maybe think of it like a tripod, and it's on a movable railroad, and you set out your rails before you shoot, and then after the fact you just put the tripod there, and all you have to do is stand in the minecart and like direct the camera as you go across it, looking at the X or where the screen is, where you're supposed to be looking at, you know? So say this is the room I want to look at, this one right here. So I would go here, I'd hit my C button, and I'd go like this. And even though I'm moving to the side, I'm making sure to move my camera to make sure I'm looking and concentrating solely on this area, on that frame. And then maybe it'll tell me to, we're going to move dramatically this way. Or it could be I'm trying to track somebody inside this. So we do the same thing. I hit my C button, and we're tracking someone walking in through this room, going to this room, and that room. But obviously, some of these angles I can't see very well. So I have to move the camera to check it. So I see somebody walk in, and then let's say they open this door. You know, they open the door here, and then I see them walk in there, and then they move through here, and then they go back there, they come back out, and then they walk into this room. And so I'm tracking their movements here. And then I go to see what they're doing in there. And then they move back there and they go there. And then suddenly you see something from over here. But now I have so many of my angles cut off that you can only see certain portions. And from here, this is just where the camera stays as you track the rest of the storyline, you know, because that's the middle of the track. So that's the idea of this. So this is a set piece. This isn't supposed to be an actual building. This isn't supposed to be something that is extremely elaborate or full of stuff. It is purely here for the aesthetic. Let's just, I put them on. I'm like, hello? Where are my boots? Oh, they're over here. Yes. So this is the room where everything's going to happen, or this is the track where everything's going to happen, which is why this is the most decorated of them all, and also why I have a slightly different color scheme. So let's go over why I built it the way I built it. I don't have a lot of resources, and I came out here trying to find a place where I could build this. I wanted a flat space with an open area in the front. And I've terraformed this area. I've live streamed me fixing this area and even building this over on PB Plays Inside on Twitch, twitch.tv/PB Inside. And so I was just walking around and I found this area, and it's really not far away from where we live. In fact, this thing links up to our home portal. So do with that as you will. But I was thinking of I wanted this to be sort of that old school era, that black and white entering color. That's sort of the idea I wanted to go with here. And I was looking for blocks, and I was thinking of doing a white trim here, or like I wanted a trim and I wanted windows. And so I was looking around the different blocks we had, and right here was a giant mushroom. And I'm like, I wonder what this white block might look like. And so as I was building it, I laid it out, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this, because I want to desaturate the video where I actually make this skit, or actually do the little short here. I'm going to, in post, desaturate the colors. And that means I don't need vibrant colors. I don't need my really vibrant reds or greens or anything like that. I need desaturated colors. So everything else pops, you know? Like, this red doesn't look this red if this isn't so bland. If this isn't as bland as it is. And I also didn't want it to look clean. I wanted it to look a little bit dirty, because it's a dirty city building back in the day. So I want the inside to look nice and clean, but the outside to not look that way, you know? So you could definitely notice that I'm looking inside of a building despite what it looks like, you know? And just because I had an insane amount of brown mushroom blocks, because I farmed the brown mushrooms for the white stems, everything else is made out of that brown mushroom. Because I thought, yeah, this looks like an ugly tile, or like what I consider to be a not very attractive looking tile, you know? One of those old school 70s, 80s building, how everything was kind of desaturated, kind of vibrant, but not really. Just sort of like that. Like that painting in the back really screams it for me. Even this painting screams it out for me, you know? And so I want my color scheme to be in the brown tones and the earth tones, and then have the random pop color like that red back there. And so I've been decorating this house over here because I want you to be able to see somebody interact with all of these things, which is why I can't record this right now, because I was hoping the replay mod would be out at this time, but it's not ready. So I need somebody else to be here with me, and I don't have the time for that because I'd actually have to write it out and give them the script, because I'd have to be the camera. And I just don't have the time for that at the moment. So unfortunately, we're not getting the short today, but you know, in the future we will. So yeah, I want as many blocks that you could see somebody interact with. So you could see somebody put something on an armor stand. You could see somebody open a chest. You could see somebody open another chest, which is why I raised these up here. And I also wanted to make it visually interesting. I have these buildings here so you can move back. But I keep talking about this being a set, and maybe you don't know what that means. So what that means is that this is all fake. Like there's nothing back here. None of these this is the only room you can really disappear in the back of. This is the entrance room, obviously. Oh, and the doors also, I've put them in the way so you can see them from up there opening. Because normally this just opens inside the doors like this. Like if I open that, it just opens towards me and it slams against this wall, and you can't see that from up there. So like here it's fine because I can see this being from open to closed, or open to closed, closed to open. You could see that happen. But like here, just due to the angle, if I were to do that, this door could be open or closed at any time. It's not until you see that you know visually that that's opening. A lot of that has to do with that, but this is going to be the perfect example of this isn't a real build, because this is a staircase. I made it black because I wanted to look like the abyss, but look at how I did this staircase. Zero thought has been put into the staircase, except I need to get up higher, so it's like the jankiest spiral staircase you can't see ever. Here I ran out of the white this mushroom stem, so I replaced it with the brown one because I have so many brown stems. And over here you'll be able to see it even more. Like the person will disappear back here and just stand here, you know, and then they'll come back out and you'll see them come back out here and interact with other things. But yeah, this is all fake, you know, this is a fake front of a building. And again, here, I haven't put in any of the doors, but over here would be the same idea once I dig that out a little bit more. I still have to decorate it, but after I realized I wasn't just going to have the time or energy to work on this anymore, I just started working on the main room. So here is the main room. So this is where we're seeing more of our detail. I haven't put in the door yet, but as you can see, I also have these little slits so you could see when somebody is walking in from that stairwell. And then you'll be able to see when they walk in. Christopher Walken. Here's an example of this. So here, you can't see that even from here. Like, you can barely see this chest, you know, from all the way on the camera track. And because I want to have it just set in like one spot, I don't want to like go up or down, because that's sort of not how that movie works, from my knowledge of it. So I want you to be able to see it from one angle, and that's where you can see it. You can physically see the door open, and you can't see the door hinge very much. This is the important thing. You'll see it closed, but when you see it open, that's where the suspense will break in. That is a fake door. There's nothing back there, but it's going to look like a little hallway, like a highway closet. These are our coat racks, even though I did put the boots on there. You can't see the boots. You can only see the coats. I've already done some experimenting. Here is a perfect example of movie magic. From there, you can't see these bare patches because I don't have enough red to make another red banner. Unfortunately, they're another movie magic. You can't see these short beds from the camera track, so I just had to make one of these fake beds up here. You can't even see this guy, but I still put it in there just for flavor, or for a reason for somebody to stand here, like specifically here, and do that, and also then look up here. So you'll go here, then you'll move here, and then you can't see anything. And you know they can't see anything because they'll have their back turned, you know? So, you know, people looking in here, putting their stuff away, you know. I'm going to have a light here, a redstone lamp. I'm going to take out a lot of these torches, and I'm going to have switches with redstone lamps so you can light rooms. Back here, I want this to be purposefully dark because I want you to walk in here and go here and make it seem like you're going to get something, and then walk back out and go over here, do this stuff, go into here, and then suspenseful things are happening while that happens. I'm playing around with shutters here. I don't know how I feel about them yet. You might have noticed that that's the only room with shutters. I might want to just do the sides. Also, you'll see that I made sure that the middle of this was this spongy texture. And that's just to bring more texture into the build. Mainly, that's all it's for, to bring more texture into the build. But yeah, that's sort of our facade building. Because all you're going to see is this on this camera track. And see, you can see there, you can see those little bald spots up here just due to this angle, which is also why I picked this one, the middle apartment, essentially, to do this, so you could best see this. I'm thinking of changing these windows up because you can't really see when people are going up the stairwell. I think I'm going to change up how I have that arranged. I might take out the whole brown part. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But yeah, so I'm going to desaturate the video kind of where I think I want to have it now. So you can see sort of how this works a little bit more the way it is, or the way I am sort of imagining it. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to have a ton of time to figure it out. I'm doing a lot of prep for other things, just so you guys are aware. Next week, I'm going to be doing next week for me. This week for you guys, I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to be streaming me just going into my nether fortress and killing pigmen. I'm going to be moving, as talked about in my last episode, I'm going to move our beacon, and I'm going to move it to the nether fortress. And then from there, I am going to just run around with good armor. I'm going to take some time to enchant and make some good diamond armor. And I'm going to go around and just kill all the things. Kill everything to get both their XP and, most importantly, get all of their sweet, sweet gold. Specifically, the pigmen. And I've been knocking down some areas close to the nether fortress, so I don't have to worry about stupid pigmen spawning in places I don't want them to spawn. Though, obviously, it's going to be a long project. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. This is my Alfred Hitchcock-inspired building. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to actually film the short, but I was able to build this building. And in the future, once that replay mod is out, I will definitely put out a short involving this little facade. But yep, this is made out of mushroom stems, brown mushroom blocks, spruce in the other room, spruce, and this is dark oak. And yeah, so if you have more ideas on what I can do in this area, I think now I'm going to have time to build like a street down below, a cobblestone brick street. and maybe even a roof of some sort. Lord knows what I'll do, but it's there. I'm going to have time to like clean up the area around it. So if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Go follow twitch.tv/pbplaysinside if you guys are interested in watching those live streams where we're going to murderfy a lot of pigmen and possibly die a lot because a lot of bad things spawn in nether fortresses. And yeah, and that's going to be to get our goal, remember, is to get enough gold to make 3 beacons. Enough gold for 3 beacon bases. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Maybe we'll even kill a wither if we get that many skulls. As you guys saw, I already have 1 skull in my ender chest. So who knows what's going to happen? You'll just have to check out the live streams instead. That'll be at 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is when it'll start. And it'll probably be like 2 hours at least. So come by, stop by, say hello, drop a follow, whatever you want to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate. Don't forget to check out everybody else's episodes. Don't forget to check out the podcast when it is out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.